Okay, we have to talk about Brigitte Macron 100% shoving Emmanuel Macron's face when they were arriving at in Vietnam, right there. Okay, we need to analyze that play by play. And I asked the question. I asked the question on X. Emmanuel and Brigitte Macron arriving in Vietnam. Did Brigitte just shove his face? And well, the reaction did not wait. Thanks to Christina NYC for sending me the best quality possible so we can see this in a play-by-play. Some people are saying, no, this was not shoving. This was playful. Do you think that this was playful? It is my question. Look at that. Do you think that gesture was being playful? We're gonna do the body language analysis right now to find out. But before we begin, remember to download my 100 free body language tips in the description of this video and in the pinned comment. But first things first, what happens in the first frame? You know, to understand what's going on, the first thing that I notice is that despite the low quality of the video, or it was so far away, you know, the pixels begin to blur themselves, you can see as well that Macron's face was neutral. I think that he had a neutral expression. My guess is that he did not expect that gesture from Brigitte. He was standing there. There was, I could say that there was no tension in his body. His shoulders were relaxed. His posture was relaxed. His hands were pretty much relaxed. No tension in there. Maybe even the wrists, everything. He was not expecting that. So we move on. Frame by frame. Nothing is happening yet. And then all of a sudden we see Brigitte's hands. We know that it's her hands because she was wearing red and it was the only person that was right behind him as they were going off the plane. So notice that up to this point is after we see her hands that he reacts in some way. And one thing that many clips online are missing is that it was not one hand. Brigitte used both hands. Here you can see this is the silhouette of her right hand. You can see very clearly her right hand, but I knew that I saw like a shadow, a red shadow. You know that shadows cannot have colors, but I saw this. All right, she did this gesture. The gesture was like this, all right? It was pushing with both hands, pushing his face away with both hands, so making an extra effort to push Macron's head away. And you see that it was a very strong gesture because he was still standing in the same spot, but his head was all the way back, even to one side, all right? And he realizes that she's doing that, and that's when he realizes that the cameras were out there, already pointed at him. By the way, that's something that I don't understand. I don't know what kind of degree of disagreement they had for Brigitte. Be aware that the door was open. I don't know how they call it, the presidential plane's door was open already, and she do this. It's like, are you not aware that the camera is going to capture this as soon as the door opens? So that was really, really strange and uncomfortable, of course, at the same time. And you notice that when Macron sees the cameras, of course, he is hyper aware that the cameras just caught, or the people who is at least outside the plane already spotted and caught what happened. Can be, of course, he has this surprise gesture because it's obvious, we saw from his body language at the start that he did not expect that. So he's startled. Like, what was that? Where did that come from? So that's something that I don't know. I'm just going to have a hypothesis here. I don't think that they were arguing, because if they were arguing, then he might have expected the shove. Right? He wouldn't be as surprised. Maybe he was surprised that they were caught in that. They caught that couples violence, because it became physical. But what I'm sure is that he did not expect that. He did not expect that to happen. So he is startled. He has to, hey, play it cool. Hey, hello. Yeah, raise your hand. Nice. He does a sudden, very unnecessary anchor of his left hand. This is a satellite gesture to, find some comfort. To when you're rattled, you will do it unconsciously. You will just touch a chair or grab something. It's like some kind of anchor. Okay, so you try to calm yourself down. You know that you cannot make a scene, of course. You notice how uncomfortable he looks. Now he looks tense. Now his body is tense. Makes sense, of course. And that's when he steps to one side, I guess. You see what you just did? You see what you just did? We have to go out like right away. Okay, we can see now the full sequence. And then maybe they have a word or two, and then we can see them going away. Macron has a pacifying gesture, touching his nose, as in, I can imagine that he's kind of nervous right now. Let me see the way he walks. He's walking outside. Nothing has happened. Everything is okay. Hello, big guy. How are you doing? Let me shake your hand like nothing has happened. You didn't see anything out of the ordinary. You did not see the shoving, right? You did not see it. And notice that Macron gives his hand in a dominant way. I found it interesting. He gave his hand a dominant handshake. Maybe he wanted to feel dominant towards anybody in that moment. Dominant hand gesture, dominant handshake with your palm down. Maybe he had to feel dominant towards anybody. I need to feel dominant since my wife just shoved my face in front of millions. And then he offers, notice that this is important, he offers his arm. Okay? He keeps his arm slightly, bent at the elbow to offer his arm, so to help her go down the stairs. And, well, she says, nah, I'll be fine. And she proceeds to just go down. Notice that he keeps, like 1 or 2 seconds in, he keeps his arm bent in case she wants to grab it. But no, she won't do it. She still has his arm bent. He keeps going down until he realizes, okay, it's not going to happen, so I might as well relax my arm. Very uncomfortable moment. I think uncomfortable is an understatement. They go down, but from this point on, there's not much to say. There's not much detail. Other videos that maybe we have a completely different, not a completely different, but I think this is the same angle. But we can see a bit more of Macron's concerned expression about, oh my God, this happened in front of the cameras. Everybody saw this. Everybody saw this domestic violence display, which, by the way, can happen both ways. Domestic violence can happen both ways. And thanks to Dr. Helen Ingram, who, pointed out with a meme. That memes sometimes tell the real story, that had this picture of Macron. And you can see from the picture that, a couple of things. His left hand, he had already greeted Everybody at the bottom of the stairs, they were walking, but his left hand, white knuckles, that is concealed anger. The guy was really angry, was really angry. You can see in his facial expression as well. There was no reason his teeth, I could say that his teeth were clenched right now. He's got a squarish face, but I see his jaw muscles a bit more, like more flexed than usual. He's pressing his lips. I wouldn't be surprised that he was clenching his teeth at that point. Yeah, the guy was angry, but who could blame him? Brigitte ridiculed him in front of everyone, let's say the millions. So again, yeah, this is something that we could joke about, but again, domestic violence is not something that we should joke about in any way. Even if maybe you don't like Emmanuel Macron, maybe you think the guy deserves so many things, but this is something that we should be aware of. It's something that happens. It's something that happens and should never happen. And no, this was not a playful gesture by any means. We're gonna play the slower part while I speak. This was not playful by any means because it's obvious. Both hands shoving his face away. He was really startled and he needed a minute to get out of the plane. Like maybe have a word with her or something like that. But yeah, it was quite embarrassing and concerning to watch. But again, I would like to know, what do you think about this in the comments? Do you think that, well, this is like I think we said everything that we could say about this. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. And remember to download my free 100 body language tips in the description of this video. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the body language guy. Much love and bliss.